Hello, everybody. Okay, so I wanted to just come on here. This is so fun. I think this might be my first Instagram live, or if so, the first one in a long time. So I just wanted to come on here and do a quick live video on the formula for receiving. Now, the formula for receiving is actually quite simple, but what makes it really hard is the habits that we already have set in place. So the habits that you have, your thought habits, your financial habits, your physical habits, your behavioral habits, your relational habits, the habits of trying to please those, primary caregivers from decades ago, the habits of wanting to be accepted and loved by your peers, the habits, the subconscious habits that you have, right? Make it hard for you to fully receive what you want. Now, in order to receive what you want, you have to become a match for it. Okay, everything is energy, and every single thing, every lifestyle, every state of being has an energetic signature, right? And the energetic signature, let's say for abundance, for wealth, for prosperity, is very different from the energetic signature to struggle, to sacrifice, to working hard and under receiving. Now, a lot of the ways that you were brought up with a certain energetic signature, and perhaps a condition, right? Perhaps you just wanted your parents to acknowledge you so much that if things came really, really easily for you, if success came easily, if school, if straight A's came really easy for you, but you wanted to be loved and accepted, maybe by your siblings, maybe by your parents, right? Maybe then you had to create situations where you had to work really hard. And unless you worked really hard, unless you sacrificed your time, unless you really gave things up, or unless you struggled, maybe your parents wouldn't think you worked hard enough, and therefore they wouldn't be proud of you, and therefore you wouldn't feel accepted, and therefore you wouldn't feel loved. This is just a prime example, right? Maybe your siblings who did struggle and work really hard, maybe they got more attention. And because things came easy to you, you didn't get attention, and therefore you didn't feel loved. So you created situations and circumstances in your life where you had to struggle so that you could get attention, so that you could feel loved. Now, what does that have to do with today, right? That's a habit you created a long time ago, and that habit worked for you in the moment so that you could get something that you felt you were not getting in the moment. Love, attention, right? This is, again, just an example. But how does that impact you as an adult? How does that impact you as a business owner? How does that impact you as someone who wants a fulfilling, lifelong relationship? If you're struggling, right, your condition is to be that I need to struggle, otherwise I'm not going to be accepted and received. But when does that stop? As a business owner, you're going to continue struggling and struggling and struggling. You have this belief that you have to struggle, otherwise you will not be accepted. Maybe your current entrepreneurial peers will not accept you if success comes really easy. So struggle is your habit. So now then, how do you make success a habit? Because that's all it is, right? Success has a very different energetic signature, a very different energetic frequency than struggle. So now what you get to do is you get to make success a habit. So you get to vibrate and emit the frequency of success, and then you set yourself up for the habit of success. Success is simply a habit. Okay? You have to get rid of the signature, drop the signature of struggle, and adopt a signature of success. Right now, if I asked you to cross your arms right now, and go ahead and do that, cross your arms right now. Notice which arm crossed first, which arm is on top, which arm is closer to your body. Notice you didn't even think about it, right? It just happened. Now go ahead and uncross your arms. And then cross them the other way. Notice how it feels different. What if I told you that this way was the signature of success? Now, obviously it's not, but I'm just painting a picture here. I'm just making a point. If I told you that you just had to cross your arms like this for the rest of your life every day and you'll have success, that's it. Period, end of story. But the thing is the way that you've been crossing your arms is such a habit. Before you know it, You're going to go back to crossing your arms the other way. Maybe this way is so uncomfortable for you, it doesn't feel right. It feels kind of weird. So you're going to go back to the other way because that's what is familiar. It's what is known. Now, success is the same way. When you start emitting the frequency of success and start to create success as a habit, it starts to feel unfamiliar, might even feel uncomfortable. It feels very unknown. Things coming easily to you feels unknown. Feels almost uncomfortable, like maybe you're doing something wrong. It's too easy, too good to be true. Watch out for those lies, because that is simply the old stories coming back so that you can go back into your old habit. You know the saying, old habits die hard. They do. When you start feeling the emotions of success, and you start believing the thoughts of success, and when you start having the habits of success, that's it. But what happens after a couple of days? It starts to feel unfamiliar. Your mind starts saying, oh man, can't be this easy. I gotta go struggle, I gotta go sacrifice, I gotta work hard, because that's the habit. The old habit is starting to take precedence, okay? This is why being supported, having a coach, being in a container of other people who are doing the same thing, that can see you, that can hold you, that can support you, because those old habits, when they die, you're gonna have an emotional breakdown. You're gonna have an identity crisis because you are literally changing. Okay, this is why having someone on your side who can see this, who can remind you of this, because when your old habits start going and dying, they're going to be telling you all sorts of lies. And those are the lies that maybe kept you feeling accepted and loved when you were a kid, but they don't do the same thing anymore. The habit of going and crossing your arms the same way you always have is much more comfortable. But if I told you if you kept them crossed the other way for the rest of your life, you're going to have more success and love and fulfillment and joy and abundance and wealth and prosperity and all the things that you've wanted. But it feels awkward. It feels uncomfortable. That's okay. What the mind does, what the ego does, what the old habit does, is it tries to convince you otherwise. Okay? So being in a container where someone can see you, someone can lead you, someone can guide you, someone can see the old habit dying and remind you that this is what's happening, because you're strong, you're powerful, your mind is powerful. It can convince you of anything. Just like you can't have it, like you do have to struggle. You've already convinced yourself of that. I'm here to help you convince yourself otherwise, that success gets to be easy, that you do get to have it all, because, my dear, you really, really do. Start emitting a different frequency consistently without listening to the lies that struggle is telling you, or sacrifice, or acceptance, or whatever it is. And if you want to find out the lies that you really, really are telling yourself, reach out to me or come inquire about Queendom. Because this is a space where all those lies go away and you convince yourself. You cultivate the habit of success with ease. You cultivate the habit of being loved and being loved simply for who you are, not for any performance, not for anything you say or anything you do, because it is just who you are in the way you get to be. I can't wait for you to experience that, because that life, everything on the other side of all the lies you've been telling yourself, all the habitual lies you've been telling yourself, is pure genius, pure gold. I would love to hear from you. Did anything resonate with you in this? Can you see some of the habitual lies you've been telling yourself? You have to look a certain way, you have to perform a certain way, you have to sound a certain way. You have to be a certain weight or a certain size in order to be successful, in order to be loved, in order to be accepted, in order to be, name it. It's all lies. When you change your mind and you change your habits, and you start emitting a success signature, a love signature. Everything you wanted comes in, and not only does it come in, it stays in. That's up to you. I'm here for you if you're ready to experience that.